Hey everybody, this is Erica Holston, and I am so excited to be here with you today because we are going to talk about a wonderful topic as always. And before I get into the topic, I would like to ask you to subscribe as well as hit the notifications button so you can get dating and relationship advice when it comes to your dating or relationship journey. So, we are going to talk about, are you too picky with men? And the reason why I want us to discuss this is because a lot of women are going through this issue of a guy actually being good enough for her. And I would like to discuss with you three signs that you could possibly be too picky. So I'm talking to you in the sense of for you to recognize the signs, but also being aware and doing something about it. So you can actually welcome in love and that you can move forward in your dating journey. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, number one, if you are too picky for a guy, is that on paper he's perfect. So he has a good career, he's good looking, he smells very nice, and he knows how to make you laugh. And then on top of that, he actually meets some of your core values, what as far as the things that are very important to you. So on paper, like he is a great guy, as well as him and how he interacts with you, right? But then let's just say is that he doesn't make the amount of money that you are looking for because you want him to make $50,000 or more, or you want him to actually make like 100 grand because you want someone who is financially stable when it comes to the money spectrum. And I just want you to know that I get it, that you want to have someone that is not only financially stable, but for someone who can possibly provide for you. But just because he's not making $50,000 or $100,000 doesn't mean that he couldn't be a good guy for you. And so this is a prime example when it comes to being too picky. And if you actually want a guy to make that amount of money, like that's perfectly fine. But what about if he continues to grow in his career or he gets promoted within his career within a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years? Span of time that he can actually make the money that you are looking for. So if a guy knows how to make you feel, if he knows how to make you smile, if he has swag, if he has a good potential career where he can make more money, is that instead of picking off that one thing like, oh, he don't make 50 grand or oh, he don't make 100 grand, like I can't deal with that. Like I'm just going to move on. So I want you to focus on the majority. So let's go ahead and get started with number two is that another sign that you can be too picky is that you want him to make up for mistakes that your ex did to you. So maybe you were in a previous relationship and your ex cheated on you, your ex lied to you, and your ex wasn't the man that you had wanted him to be. And so if he does like one thing, like that just triggers you. So let me go ahead and give you an example. Let's say again, like he's working in his career and you guys had a date planned, but because he had to work late when it comes to him actually being with the client, and he has to call you to say, hey, can we push back our date? Or, hey, can I take a rain check because I really need to get in this work with this client? And so so what I want to say is that that could be a good explanation, but because he actually needs to work with the client and you were really looking forward to that date, and he could have possibly triggered because let's say your ex was cheating on you and he constantly told you, oh, I have to work late. Or let's say that your ex constantly lied to you, and let's say that you guys had dates, but he didn't actually meet your expectations and he constantly kept on rescheduling after rescheduling, and that just made you upset from your previous relationship. So with this guy, as far as the one time he tells you, hey, I need to reschedule, or hey, I need for us to take a rain check, when he does that, that doesn't make you feel good. And because that doesn't make you feel good, you feel like, oh, I'm getting ready to make this man pay for what my ex did, or I don't like the way you made me feel. And it's not to say that he's lying to you. It's not to say that he is not being forthcoming with you, but you just realize is that, okay, I am actually being triggered. And so if this is you, this could also be another sign of being too picky. So I want to encourage you is that when you think about your exes and when you think about your triggers, make sure that when you're in your current relationship that you're not being triggered from your past, and for you to give a guy the chance to prove himself, because he can very well make it up to you. He can bring you flowers. He can just reassure you, hey, I'm sorry. And he can show up, or he can buy you one of your favorite gifts. He can possibly get you a bracelet. He can just say, you know what, like, I'm sorry. It won't happen again. I just really needed to get in the time with this client. I really needed to finish up this project. So I just want to encourage you to be just a little bit more understanding, especially if he has proven that he hasn't lied, especially if he has proven that he is someone that is full of integrity, and for you to not be triggered from your past, but for you to say, this is a new man, this is a new situation, and I am actually going to continue to move forward until I have discovered that he has lied. So stop looking as far as backward, but actually move forward with your life. All right. So number 3 is that another sign that you can be too picky is that you have unrealistic expectations. So you could be a woman, you want the perfect guy. You want him to be 6'2". You want him to be someone who is very athletic. You want him to make $200,000 a year. You want him not to have any children. You want him to have all of your core values. You want him to be very passionate and very detailed and communicate like one of your girlfriend communicates. Like, you just want him to be the perfect guy. And, as a woman, like, that is what we can all want. But men aren't built like women. And we need to realize is that, a man is going to bring you his best, especially when he pursues after you, especially when he wants you, and especially when he wants to prove that he is the man that you desire. But if you just have this bar that is set up so high and you just say to yourself, I need the perfect man, well, ask yourself, are you the perfect woman? And I'm not trying to ask you to use the mirror. I'm just asking for you just to know is that there is no such thing as the perfect guy. And one of the reasons why you can actually be too picky, or one of the reasons why you want the perfect guy, is because you want the guy to actually make up from all of your previous relationships, and that is just being unrealistic. So if a guy actually meets like 80% of what it is that you want, that is better than nothing. And if you want that companionship, if you want that love, if you want the guy just to prove himself, like, there are guys who are willing to do that. There are guys who want the same exact things that you want, but you have to be realistic. And so when it comes to being too picky, when it comes to being unrealistic, many women actually go through this because, again, they want the person to make up for their ex, and they have these walls in their hearts. So I want you to know that I know exactly what it's like having walls in your heart, and you just don't want to get hurt again. You don't want to be cheated on. You don't want to be lied to. Like, you want a real good dating experience. And I want you to know that that is something that you should want and that you should desire. But as far as being realistic on the dating journey is that sometimes things are going to happen the way that you don't want them to, but you have to stay positive. You have to stay focused on what it is that you want and the end goal, right? And so when it comes to having these walls around your heart, when it comes to actually not allowing a guy to come in, if you are being too picky, the guy can't actually love you. So you may want to receive love, but you're not actually capable of giving love. So I want to challenge you to self reflect and to ask yourself if you are being too picky, or if you have these unrealistic or high expectations. And it doesn't mean that you don't deserve the best, because you daggone do. You deserve the best. So what I'm saying is that self-reflect and look and just ask yourself, do I need to forgive my ex? Do I actually need to come down just a little bit and just to accept like my core values or my core things that I absolutely need, which would be called in this specific situation is your non-negotiables. So if you are willing to do the self-reflection, if you are willing to do your non-negotiables as well as your negotiables, that this is going to help you to position yourself in such a way that you can actually not only receive love, but you will be able to give love. Because if you are nitpicking, if you are just picking everything apart, if you are looking at the guy and you're just pointing out that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, and you can't see the bigger picture, you can't be positive about your dating experience, is that you're not able to actually welcome in love, and you're not actually able to give love. But what you want to do is that you want to be able to give and to receive love in order for you to be able to have a good dating experience. So again, I want to encourage you to self-reflect, to write down your negotiables, as well as to write down your non-negotiables. And this will help you to overcome being picky. And it doesn't mean that you don't deserve the best. It doesn't mean that your dream guy isn't out there, because he is out there. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to get married one day, because you will be able to get married one day. But what I'm saying is that you have to be a little bit more realistic. And if you haven't forgiven your exes, if you can't overcome your triggers, is that is actually going to prevent you from giving and receiving love. And if you want love in your life, like, you definitely need to have that two-way door opening and closing, opening and closing. But you know what I mean. So I hope that helps you. I hope that gives you something to actually think about. Again, my name is Erica J. Holston. I am a certified dating and relationship coach. I hope that this has helped you to self-reflect, to write your negotiables, to write down your non-negotiables, and for you to know that you can give and receive love, and you can you can position yourself to be found by the man of your dreams, and you can be married one day, because a lot of single ladies want to be married, and a lot of single ladies are dating intentionally to become married. And I know that that is something that you want as well. So if you need to have a dating session with me, please don't hesitate to look in the comment section and click on the link. And once you click on the link, that we'll be able to set up a coaching session. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.